Bandits collect 8.5 million naira, demand 2 motorcycles again to release 11 victims. Abuja court okays terrorism trial against Fubara loyalists over Rivers Assembly attack. And local bread producers in Kano shut down operations over cost of production. And on the global scene, 39 killed in South Sudan's cattle herders clashes. Many thanks for joining us on the news update on Trust TV. Musagir Ibrahim, thanks for joining. And now the news in full. Bandits in Kau, Buari Area Council of the FCT, who initially collected 8.5 million naira and released 4 out of 17 abducted victims, including a female medical nurse, are now demanding 2 brand new Bajaj motorcycles from the families to release the remaining 11 captives. The bandits invaded Kau community on December 26, 2023, abducting 23 individuals, with 17 still in captivity. Last Saturday, they threatened to harm the remaining 11 for a delay in ransom payment. Despite paying 5 million naira in tranches and delivering 3.8 million naira along with food, drugs and wines on Tuesday, the bandits are insisting on the motorcycles. A family member has appealed to security agents to intervene and rescue the victims from the bandits' captivity. Also, suspected armed assailants attacked Katakpa community in Nasarawa State, resulting in 3 fatalities and injuries to 4 others, including a soldier. The attackers, armed with sophisticated weapons, set 4 houses ablaze, including the village chief's residence. 1 soldier deployed to the community suffered a leg injury and received treatment at Toto General Hospital before being discharged. The surviving victims, including the soldier, were referred to the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital in Gwagwalada, Abuja. The chairman of Toto Local Government Area, Alhaji Abdullahi Aliyu Tashas, confirmed the incident. However, the spokesman of the Nasarawa State Police Command, CSP Rahman Nansel, did not respond to inquiries at the time of this report. And barely 3 days after 2 traditional rulers were killed by yet-to-be-identified gunmen in Ekiti State, another suspected kidnappers last night invaded the palace of Olukoro of Koro in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State, killing the traditional ruler of the town, General Shegun Aremu, retired. The assailants also went away with the deceased's wife and 2 others. Reports said the incident happened at about 8:45 p.m. on Thursday night. Already, the state government has confirmed the killing of the monarch and abduction of 3 others. A statement issued by Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak, signed by his chief press secretary, Rafiu Ajakaye, last night, said the governor condemns the development, which he said was reckless, shocking and abominable. A federal high court in Abuja has upheld terrorism trial proceedings against Rivers State Governor's loyalists accused of the October 2023 Rivers Assembly attacks. The defendants, including Chime Eguma, Eze Balike and Prince Lukman Oladele, had challenged the Inspector General of Police's authority to prosecute them. However, Justice Mobolaji Olajuwon dismissed their objection, stating that the Terrorism Prevention Act empowers the police to initiate charges in a competent court. The defendants, loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, pleaded not guilty to terrorism-related charges and alleged murder. And in politics, political parties participating in the February 3rd rerun elections in 2 state constituencies in Ethiopia West and Burutu North of Delta State have signed a peace accord to be law-abiding people before, during and after the elections. The agreement was signed at the INEC office in Asaba. The new resident electoral commissioner, Etakamba Udo Doren, asked the parties and candidates to ensure that their supporters do not cause trouble, as perpetrators will face the full weight of the law.
It is pertinent to remind political parties, their candidates and supporters that sections 121 to 126 of the Electoral Act 2022 amply provides for varying degrees of sanctions for all manner of political offenses, and the Commission will not hesitate to activate these provisions to prosecute offenders. Let me conclude by expressing appreciation to all stakeholders, particularly security agencies, political parties, civil society organizations, the media, and voters alike for cooperating with the Commission in previous electoral activities.
You all know the electoral laws. Place, we are urging you to conduct yourselves in a very good manner so that we'll have a very successful election. Just as you are signing the peace accord today, is to guarantee the high-level officials and even the voters that the election is going to go very well without any breaches.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Bayelsa State is set to conduct the rerun election this Saturday, February 3rd, 2024, for the Yenagua constituency for 2 seats in the Bayelsa State House of Assembly in 7 units and 4 wards. Resident Electoral Commissioner for the state, Oboy Fanga, who stated this during a stakeholders meeting in Yenagua, said that both the sensitive and non-sensitive materials are already in the Commission's possession. Friday, Ebimoboy Peter reports.
Obo Efanga said the Commission is only obeying the Court of Appeal judgment that set aside the March 2023 State Assembly election that saw the candidate Abga emerged winner. According to him, the rerun election is meant to determine the actual winner.
What happened was that election was conducted in March of last year during the general elections, and a winner declared on the basis of the votes counted. But somebody went to the tribunal and eventually got to the Court of Appeal, which ordered that INEC should do a rerun election in 7 polling units. 7 polling units in that constituency, so as to effectively determine who the winner of that election is. And that is what we are planning to do. So on Saturday, we'll go and conduct election in 7 polling units. Why is this necessary? This is necessary because as of this moment, the person who originally was declared winner, whom the court has now said should step aside until this rerun is conducted, has a total of 4,971 votes. And the person that came second has a total of 4,593 votes.
State Resident Electoral Commissioner REC assured stakeholders that necessary arrangements for the peaceful conduct of the election are already in place.
The difference between the votes of these 2 candidates is 378 votes. And in these 7 polling units, they have total registered voters of 2,982. However, the total number of persons who have collected their PVCs there, who therefore are eligible to vote, is 2,828. So it means that theoretically and potentially, it is possible for 2,822 persons to vote in this rerun election, and how the votes could swing the victory in the election, because the margin of lead so far is only 378.
The rerun election will be conducted in Unit 6, Teibiri, Unit 8, Okotiama, Open Space, Unit 9, Igbelepere, Open Space, Unit 10, Ayamabri, Open Space, among others. From Yenagua, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagua.
And the Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has named Kayode Ajulo SAN and 5 others as commissioner nominees. The names of the nominees have been sent to the House of Assembly for screening and confirmation. The governor's chief press secretary, Ebenezer Adeniyo, disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists on Friday. The governor had earlier picked a former deputy clerk of the National Assembly, Olaide Adelami, as the deputy governor of the state. The Gombe State Governor, Muhammad Inuaya, here has urged investors and other stakeholders to take advantage of the investment opportunities that abound in the state. The governor, who stated this on the floor of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, said the state government hopes to raise 30 billion naira green bonds to advance its economy. Here's the report.
Governor Yahya encouraged investors to come and invest in Gombe State, noting that the state remains an investment destination for all, adding that it is safe and guarantees a good return on investment. Yahya, who was accorded the honor of ringing the closing gong, said the Green Bonds is an initiative aimed at raising funds to finance eco-friendly and environmentally friendly investments, especially in assets that will contribute to the restoration and upliftment of human life. Governor Yahya, who addressed investors on the boundless opportunities in Gombe during a roundtable session, said the state is committed to harnessing the capital market through green bonds to stimulate sustainable development. The governor stated that the state has been ranked #1 for 2 years in a row on ease of doing business in Nigeria.
Contribute to restoration and upliftment of human life so that we can reduce the impact of climate change and global warming. And we aim to do so that we raise funds. We are expecting to raise about 30 billion naira for the start, and we may break it into segments, but that's our intention. And we are sure with the support we saw and the acceptance that we've gotten from the floor and from the chief stakeholders, we are going to hit our target. Knowing that we came tops in order in 2 sequences, from 2022 to 2021, we came tops in terms of enabling business environment. And we are in the center of the Northeast. There is access to market, and we are relatively peaceful. In fact, the #1 state in terms of peace and cordiality in Nigeria. So we have every reason and every ground to invite investors because we give them guarantee for their security and the security on their investment and return on their investment.
The chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, Umaru Kwaranga, who noted that Africa is the next growth engine of the world, said Nigeria is one of the best investment destinations globally. He encouraged other states to follow the footsteps of Gombe by taking advantage of the capital market in raising funds for development.
That you are seeing here are all partners in progress. We believe in your own vision.
NGS Group CEO Temi Kpokbola said the capital market is open to support the government as well as the private sector.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Local bread producers in Kano shut down operations over cost of production. This and of course other stories after the break. Join us again.
Are you drawing any lesson as what went wrong? Why is it that we can't maintain those kind of ventures for a long time?
I think a lot of lessons have been learned from that, and that has also informed our decision of ensuring that we bring modern techniques into the whole thing. We are not one of the richest, but in terms of development, we are catching up with the developed states in the country. And I want to ensure by end of 8 years, if we are not one of the 2 best, we should be ranked among the 5 best states in the country in terms of turnaround development in our state.
I'm talking nationally. Yes. Members of your party are working at cross variance. You have Wike, who is still in the PDP, taking up post in an APC government.
If you are talking about Wike in PDP taking an appointment with APC government, I think it has not started with Wike. This started since the coming of this democracy in 1999. A lot of APP, ANPP, CPC members in the past have taken appointment in the government that invited them to come and serve, because I think at the moment we're not talking about election, we are talking about governance and national unity.
Seven abducted, 1 killed, and 5 later released.
2nd of January 2024, and that was on a Tuesday night. That was when we discovered that they have been kidnapped.
This documentary tells the story of the kidnapping of Nabiha in Bwari, outskirts of Abuja.
He promised he's going to kill by 4, he didn't. Not until 7 in the evening. I went there with my brother to recover the dead body of Nabiha.
The serene community was the backdrop for a tragic tale that began in the dead of night on January 2nd, 2024.
He said he gave us 5 days after that killing. He gave us 5 days, and that 5 days is meant for the 5 daughters that are there. 1 for each day. That put us into a lot of commotion.
Many Nigerians shared the grief of a father barely making ends meet, released to raise a huge ransom to save his daughters.
The trust that the people have given the government in the area of security is fast deteriorating, and the earlier the government reverses this, the better.
Why did you develop this reputation as somebody who is difficult to work with?
I will tell the truth. No matter whose ox is gored, I will say exactly how it is.
This is why I actually sympathize with commissioners of nowadays, where a commissioner sometimes is just a picture. You find somebody, even a cleaner and the governor's wife, can interfere with their abilities.
Even the ministers, there are very many who respected me, simply because I never complained about them. I never went to ask for a favor. Never.
So none of that has happened?
Nothing.
But if it hasn't happened, do you have hope that now another government coming in?
There is no hope.
So you've given up
I've given
politics?
I've given up. It's gone, it's gone.
Retrenchment from work is a most hated thing by unions. It's a loss of job, means that is loss of life, in fact, for civil servants at that time.
Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's security, Nigeria's intelligence. This is what the materials we were handling. And I thought government would be very interested.
The reasons why you adopted federalism is not because of finesse, not because you like it. It's because of its functional utility.
Thanks for staying with the news update in Trust TV. I'll look at our top stories again. Bandits collect 8.5 million naira, demand 2 motorcycles again to release 11 victims. An Abuja court okays terrorism trial against Fubara loyalists over Rivers Assembly attack. Moving on to other stories now. Gurasa processors in Kano are protesting over the hike in the price of flour and other ingredients. They say they are embarking on an indefinite strike until the market becomes favorable or authorities concerned do something about it. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
Gurasa is a locally made Arabian bread and is processed across many parts of Kano State. Made from flour, Gurasa trade is mostly carried out by women. But recently, the price of flour is radically on the rise in Kano. According to these traders, the price of flour, which is their major raw material, is too high. Hence, they need to voice off their concerns. It is unfortunate that for the last couple of months, flour has become a hot cake. It is the only raw materials that we use in producing this gurasa. But right now, there are so many people who cannot afford to buy even 1 bag. Gurasa is one of the fastest food in Kano, consumed by mostly the less privileged members of the society. But these people say unless something is done to address the situation, they will shut down operation indefinitely.
Wannan gurasa fi sabilillahi da dai man alhamdulillah ba abinda ba ta mana ba amma yanzu muna cikin tsadar rayuwa wanda mun.
We are actually appealing to government to find a way of subsidizing the price of flour, sugar and other ingredients that we use in processing the gurasa. You know, this gurasa is consumed by the less privileged people. And now if we didn't produce it, people from all over northern Nigeria comes here to buy gurasa. But very soon, we are going to stop if the government did not do anything.
To alhamdulillah yau mun wayi gari da wani irin yanayi mutane ana ta cewa za a tafi.
You see, so many of our members are calling on us to embark on indefinite strike. And we are considering that probably in the next coming days or weeks, we may decide to shut down operation indefinitely since we don't have any other alternative to this problem. With the continued rise in the price of flour, sugar and other ingredients, gurasa processors in Kano are therefore worried that their businesses will likely crumble in the coming days. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
And as the World Hijab Day is commemorated across the globe, Muslim women in Nigeria are seeking an end to harassment of female Muslim women using hijab in the country. In Osun State, Muslim women vowed to resist any attempt to prevent the use of hijab by female Muslims, especially in public schools and offices. Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade files the report.
The Association of Osun State Muslim Women, comprising representatives of all Muslim associations in the state, insisted that hijab is part of dressing of female Muslims as ordained by Allah. They cautioned public school teachers to desist from harassing female students for wearing hijab on their school uniform, just as they advised those using hijab to wear it with the fear of Allah.
All Muslim women are expected and should commit themselves not only to the use of hijab, but also live a gracious life to prove to the world that hijab is a symbol of humility in obedience to Allah's command. Hijab is a symbol of progress, not retrogress. It is a symbol of decency, not barbaric, and a symbol of piety, not arrogance.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained the use of hijab for every Muslim woman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an injunction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we should cover our head, we should cover our body in totality. We should cover our body in totality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained us to cover our head to bosom, so that we will not be molested, we will not be relegated, we will not be relegated in the society.
Yes, it's not a barrier because we have people that have succeeded in their different fields, and they are hijab, they are using hijab. We have doctors, we have engineers, we have business women, we have lecturers, you know, we have lawyers, we have judges who are already succeeded in their different fields, and they are using hijab. Hijab does not cover their intellect, does not cover their intelligence.
The theme of this year's World Hijab Day is Filled in Strength, aimed at showcasing hijab to the world as a symbol of modesty. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
On the international scene, violence erupted between rival cattle herder groups in South Sudan, resulting in 39 deaths and dozens of injuries, according to government officials. The clashes on Wednesday left 19 dead and 17 injured among herders from northwest Warrap, while neighboring Lake State reported 20 killed, 36 wounded, and 1 missing person. These clashes, an annual occurrence, arise as cattle herding communities from the two states vie for resources during the dry season. Although the government dispatched committees to ease tensions and protect civilians, minor clashes persist in inaccessible swampy areas. South Sudan, despite substantial oil reserves, continues to grapple with persistent conflict, natural disasters, economic challenges, and communal violence. A recent dispute between rival communities in a contested region claimed 54 lives, including 2 UN peacekeepers. And in sports, Nigerian striker Asisat Oshoala, renowned for her exceptional career with FC Barcelona, has moved to Bay FC in the United States of America National Women's Soccer League. Oshoala, a trailblazer in the Nigerian national team and the first Nigerian to score in 3 Women's World Cups, expressed her desire for new challenges. Joining Barcelona in 2019, she scored 107 goals in 149 matches. Oshoala's decision to move to Bay FC is driven by her penchant for variety in her career. The accomplished player, who recently secured a spot in Nigeria's squad for the 2024 Africa Women's Cup of Nations, brings her formidable skills to the 14th team in the NWSL. The season kicks off on March 16, marking a new chapter for Oshoala and Bay FC. And indeed, that wraps up the news update at this hour. Do well to follow us across all of our social platforms and join our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.